This is Francis Pegamagbal. He's an Anishinaabe chief, Indigenous rights activist, and a war hero. Born in Shawanaga First Nation in Ontario, he is one of the most highly decorated Indigenous peoples in Canada. At the start of World War I, Canada was opposed to enlisting First Nations people and ethnic minorities into service, but they changed their mind in 1916 when the Casualties War. But Francis was so determined to enlist that he managed to push his way in as a volunteer in 1914. He was sent to the 23rd Regiment, which were called the Northern Pioneers. He fought at the Second Battle of Ypres in 1915, where the Germans first used chlorine gas, and that would actually come back to haunt his health later. He had a reputation as a very deadly sniper, and he has been credited with about 378 kills. He would scout behind the front lines and at night, and he'd go into no man's land where he would wait for the Germans. He fought in the Battle of Somme in 1916, in the Battle of Passchendaele in 1917, the Battle of Scarpe in 1918, and many others. He was really well decorated for his bravery, and he, at the war's end, he served with the Algonquin Militia Regiment, but faced the same persecution and poverty as his Indigenous peers. Francis became the chief of Parry Sound Band, now the Wasauksing First Nation, and spent the rest of his life lobbying for Indigenous rights. He worked as a guard at a musician's plant near Noble, Ontario during World War II. And he served 2 terms as Supreme Chief of the Native Indian government. Francis died in 1952, and he was only 62 years of age, and a lot of that was from the complications from that gas, as well as probably his other war injuries. You can learn more about him and others at the CanadianEncyclopedia.ca.